You're listening to Founder Frequency, the inner signal of the world's sharpest minds in business and leadership. Deck is a boat. Let me set the scene for you. It's 3:17 a.m., and I'm sitting in my home office, the glow of my laptop, the only light in the room. The world outside is quiet, but my mind is racing. I've just had a call that's left me shaken. One of our key projects, something we've poured months of blood, sweat, and tears into, has just hit a major roadblock. The kind of crisis that makes you question everything. Now, I've been in this position before. As a founder, as a leader, you don't get to choose when the storms hit. They come when they come. And your job is to steer the ship through them. But this time, it feels different. Maybe it's the exhaustion, maybe it's the weight of responsibility, but I'm feeling the pressure more acutely than ever. So I'm asking myself, what does it really mean to lead in a crisis? Not just to react, but to lead, to inspire, to guide, to make the hard decisions when everything is uncertain. I remember the first time I truly understood what it meant to lead. It was early in my career, and I was part of a small team working on a startup. We were tight-knit, passionate, and full of ideas. But then disaster struck. Our biggest client pulled out of a deal at the last minute, and suddenly we were staring down the barrel of a financial crisis, the kind that could sink us. I'll never forget the feeling in the room that day. The silence was deafening. Everyone was looking to me for answers, but I didn't have any. Not yet. I was scared, but I knew I had to act. So I did the only thing I could. I took a deep breath, gathered the team, and said, "We're going to figure this out, together." That moment taught me something profound. Leading in a crisis isn't about having all the answers. It's about having the courage to face the unknown, to admit when you don't know, and to rally your team around a shared purpose. Now, fast forward to today, I've read countless books on leadership, on psychology, on decision-making. One that stuck with me is Daniel Kahneman's Thinking Fast and Slow. Kahneman talks about the two systems of thought, the fast, intuitive system that reacts on impulse, and the slow, deliberate system that weighs options carefully. In a crisis, both are essential. When the storm hits, your fast thinking kicks in. It's the adrenaline, the instinct to protect, to act quickly, but if you rely solely on that, you risk making decisions based on fear rather than reason. That's where the slow thinking comes in. It's the ability to step back, to assess, to consider the long-term implications. I've seen leaders make this mistake time and again. They panic, they react, they make decisions that feel good in the moment but lead to disaster down the line. But the great leaders, the ones who truly inspire, they know how to balance both. They know when to trust their gut and when to take a step back. So, how do you do that? How do you lead in a crisis without letting fear take over? First, you have to acknowledge the fear. It's there, it's real, and pretending it's not won't make it go away. But you can't let it dictate your actions. You have to recognize it, acknowledge it, and then set it aside. Second, you have to focus on what you can control. In a crisis, there's a lot you can't control. The market, the competition, the external factors, but you can control your response, you can control how you communicate, how you support your team, how you adapt, and finally, you have to remember that a crisis is a test, but it's also an opportunity. It's a chance to show what you're made of, to prove your resilience, to come out stronger on the other side. I'll leave you with this thought. The next time you're faced with a crisis, ask yourself, am I leading from fear or am I leading from strength? Because the answer to that question will determine not just the outcome of the crisis, but the kind of leader you become. Thank you for listening. If today's reflection resonated, don't just keep it in your head, live it, lead it, and share it. This is Founder Frequency.